These two were sold. One for 20 million and the other for 500k. That doesn't matter though, because we brought in our Arkadiusz Milik, who no longer has pace.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Coming off a historic title, we can focus on the capital city portion of this challenge, winning the 3 European competitions. Realistically, our best odds are to enter the Conference League and avoid the English side. The problem, winning last year's Ekstraklasa sent us to the second round of Champions League qualifying. I am aware of the money you earn for entering the league phase, but I'm not ready to go 8 and out. So let's begin Conference League dreaming. Surely, we'll face stronger opponents and be sent down. The best of Bulgaria, Ludogorets, were defeated. I honestly expected a tougher challenge. That means I have to lose to Karabakh. And you know, I have a lot of guys that need match sharpness. About 8 or 9 are teenagers, some learning new positions too. Now, what can they do on a European away night? The free signing of Pavel Majerski from Norway, who's learning left wing back, literally danced through their entire defense. That's fine. Some players want to impress, although we were a little too dominant. Oh, thank goodness Karabakh scored. However, my academy right wing back Olchak, who has 3 finishing and 5 off the ball, moved into scoring positions twice to grab a brace. What the crap is going on? Karabakh looked like they didn't care, and when they did get opportunities, Bobek stopped them. We'll get to him in a second. I adjusted my formation to emulate Moses and the Red Sea. In turn, they kept missing chances, and we continued scoring. In reality, I thought this game would end something like 6-1. But not for me. Regardless of what competition we're in, it'd be done without Franco Jaroszewicz. He was supposed to be my #1 keeper. That was emphasized with the contract I gave him last season. The problem? I didn't want to increase his wage immediately. So it was to start on June 28th. With the contract signed and sealed away, I looked forward to our future. Then, in the middle of June, his foreign release clause was matched. Yeah, a clause valued at 525k, which I removed in the new contract, yet was still active for another 2 weeks. I couldn't do anything. Thankfully, he did sign our contract already, so he's not leaving. June 28th arrived, and before our social media team could announce the extension, he wasn't there for pictures. And neither was the contract?
Here we skedaddle.
He signed for PAOK? Damn you Greeks. This was disastrous, and his replacement would be Bobek. Look, this guy can become good. Let's give him a chance. Returning to the second leg, I needed to be more extreme to execute my scheme. Instead of 1 goalkeeper, we began with 3. However, after 10 minutes, Karabakh had done nothing. So I shifted things as such, got rid of any sort of instruction, and let the rest play out. Okay, Bobek, you're playing too well. I'm sending you to the left wing. Things were going as expected. 3 by the half meant it was 6-4 on aggregate, and by the 70th minute, Karabakh leveled it. With 20 minutes remaining, this was all but guaranteed. Although, after the kickoff, we sent a ball to Tomchik and he scored. Lads, the plan is simple. Bobek scores? What the crap is going on? Karabakh still had 15-ish minutes to win this, or at least send it to extra time. Alright, they found the 7th with 10 to go, and they're immediately through again. Okay, let's increase the space in the defense. We were in added time with nobody defending, and they were sent through with 4 players against the keeper. Bro. Oh my gosh! We advanced to the last round of Champions League qualifying.
Even when I lose, I win. I am champion of champion losers winning champions.
Belgium Pro League winners Anderlecht were the final opponents. I played this initial squad away, we drew 1-1, used the same 11 at home, and were drawing until I did this. That led to the desired outcome, narrowly losing, meaning we were in the Europa League. On a side note, all of this is rather embarrassing because losing that home qualifier meant that the largest crowd we ever had left disappointed.
Gentlemen, my bad.
Pawłowski was sold for 20 million. While the saga was long and unnecessarily dramatic, he ended up going to Cadiz, who are in the 2nd division of Spain. I don't ask the questions, I take the money. Good luck to Phil Pawłowski and your journey to irrelevancy. During the Ekstraklasa, we've been cruising. Despite once again receiving Lech and Rakov back-to-back for the 3rd straight year, we defeated both of them. Rakov specifically were smoked 3-0. Plus, we defeated them in the Super Cup prior to the season. A few draws did occur. Thankfully, several signings helped us remain undefeated by the end of the transfer window. Firstly, Kaczmarski returned for 44K after a successful loan. Then, after 4 years of trying, I finally brought in Eric Żywasz on loan from Wolfsburg. Great for the libero, he was joined by Slonk's Tomaso Guercio. Not really a Polish sounding name, he signed for 1.8 million. Finally, with the North American-Polish pipeline drying up, we built a new one from Norway. Years ago, I found this Muda guy for free, who's developed immensely. Now, we have our backup left wingback Pavel Micierski, who played in Norway, but wasn't Norwegian. Finally, look at Bartosz Grudzinski. At 1.5 million, all I have to say is, wow! That was all before the Pawłowski money, and none of it was spent. Okay, 525k was on our foreign signing Ken Taylor. Another Scottish center half, and maybe a future libero? Being in the Europa League is alright. With these fixtures, we have a chance to make the next round. Beginning with Swedish club Häcken, I thought, easy. That was an error on my part, as prior to the half, we conceded from a brilliant dribble by Butska. Added to that was long shot-itis. Basically, when players who shouldn't be shooting from distance do so often and injure someone in the crowd. We went more positive in the second half with a wingback and Segundo on attack, while the libero on support. This increasingly risky approach would lead to Żywasz taking a long shot. Thankfully, some sense got into us, as Grudzinski found the Hulkster for the nevermind. No worries, 6 minutes later, Bugai's cross landed on Hulk's foot for the actual equalizer. Fighting for the winner, our opponents did not give up, smacking the bar. Entering added time, pushing even further, we were lucky with them missing this tackle, allowing Kalemba to find Grudzinski for the winner. Going from that, Lens would be the following opponent. And are you really surprised that we lost when they had footballers like this and this? Best not to talk about this. Following were the Greeks of Olympiacos, and the country's dominance over Polish sides unfortunately continued. In spite of Gura producing quite possibly the greatest header I've ever seen, Olympiacos scored off a corner and a deflected shot from their other center back. 1 win and 2 losses wasn't a great start, and neither was the beginning of Dinamo Zagreb, falling behind by 2. Everything seemed doom and gloom, but in comes Kasper Pindor to save us once again. A banger to go along 2 assists propelled us to a fantastic victory in Zagreb. Utrecht followed in what was an entertaining draw. Rapid Vienna then saw a slim victory thanks to an own goal. 2 match days left, and we are in 14th place. Good odds to qualify, yet top 8 seemed highly unlikely. Meanwhile, in the Ekstraklasa, undefeated. Oskar Gura continued to live up to his iconic status with 15 contributions. Half of the players on the average rating list were ours, and the defense had the ability to break Ekstraklasa records. The problem? I don't want to finish first. Poland has improved their European standing rapidly. That means first place earns a European spot in the Champions League playoff, meaning we can't get into the conference. I also don't think I can bottle first place at this point without ruining the team cohesion, which I don't want to do while in the Europa League. So the plan is to qualify for the Champions League next year, just to rake in the money to see how tough it really is. However, in the Ekstraklasa, I will play my worst lineup every second game. That will prevent rage from those who have important team status, and it'll hopefully lead to more competition. Surely, this aspiration won't be futile. Entering January, Wolfsburg recalled Żywasz. There was a convo earlier in the campaign with their manager, who yelled at me angrily in Discord.
Why isn't Żywasz playing?
Wait a minute, he's playing almost every fixture.
No! Why isn't he playing as a ball-playing defender?
Mate, he's starting and developing.
This isn't enough. I am so mad right now. He will be recalled first chance I get.
We had no main libero option for January, with our window closed until February. That forced Kalemba there for Braga, as Hiam wasn't match sharp. While not the best, Braga have been a respectable side for the past 5 years, including having the 2017 U17 World Cup star, Abel Ruiz. His pass to Esquivel led to a goal that confusingly went in. We didn't cry though, as immediately, Oyedele was found behind, and his pass to Novak brought the score level. In the second half, we nearly found the lead. Meanwhile, Abel Ruiz shot it out for a throw-in. To be fair, Braga got close too, as this was looking like a surefire draw, which I would take. Then, the last seconds arrived. Due to an injury, it went past the minimal allotted time, and Braga had a throw-in. Oh gosh, we're past the added minutes. Braga, on it, they cross it in. No! In my devastation, we did learn our spot in the top 24 was basically safe. Nevertheless, we want to finish 9th to 16th in order to avoid some of these potential matchups. To conclude the league phase, we hosted Shakhtar Donetsk. Pulling off a late run in his segundo role led to the opener from Kaczmarski. That was the only goal, as we earned the victory along with a 14th place finish. Off to the playoffs we go, but even with us in the seeded section, there were some potentially tough opponents. And second division side St. Pauli, managed by Joachim Crew? We didn't draw them, as it was down to Athletic Bilbao and FC Utrecht. Please not Bilbao. Please not Bilbao. Oh, thank you. Utrecht were our opponents again. I breezed past the last encounter, however, they did challenge us. We were overrun in the midfield, which led me to go mentally deranged. That led to a stalemate then, but what about now? A corner kick header from Guercio was enough to separate us. I'm surprised it worked, so let's stick to it. This time at home, Utrecht weren't getting a sniff until the 90th minute, where Bobek easily killed their hope. We had a goal from our soon-to-be superstar Grudzinski back in the 69th as we advanced to the round of 16. A great feeling like being undefeated in the Extra-Klasa. With plan to fraud occurring next year, I thought, why not try for an undefeated season? With Raku between the European legs, we conceded a late penalty and lost. By the way, we lost in pens in the Puchar Polski to LKS Łódź in December, and guess what? They won the damn thing as a Pierwsza Liga club. Fair play for making up for losing it the year before. Regardless, the draw was beginning and oh boy, we are gonna get a difficult side. Maybe we could do something against Rangers, if they were picked. Instead, it was Conference League winners Lille. Okay, oh he's good too. Jonathan David is still here, and my best player is injured. Even with all that talent, the first leg was at home. We had to keep it close, and oh boy, we sure didn't. An absolute vibe killer to our season, as Jonathan David must have heard Krujanovski's comments years ago about him never being that guy with a 36-minute hat trick, and it ended 5-1. With it out of reach in the second leg, our season was actually done. Worst of all, our fan attendance record broke once again during that defeat. I was in no mood to see us win the league title by 16 points. The trophy was lifted with 5 games to spare, and we spent the remainder on how to execute the future plan to fraud. So while our strongest team will play in the Champions League and probably have a tough time, the main focus for next season is to not win the Extra-Klasa.